Hello, pandas. Feels like it's been a minute since we chilled. Wow, well, that place was busy. It's one of the only ones that's actually still open right now. So part of the reason we haven't been hanging out is I've been working on this and it's coming together. This used to be just stacked with boxes. It still kind of is. But this stack, well, it's more or less just trash and or recycling. And it feels good to get rid of it. And it feels good. It feels like I made progress, which I should have, because I spent an entire day making things a little bit nicer inside. But that's only half the story, because now I need to spend some time making this a functional space, because right now this is just a pile of junk. So I think we're gonna hit some low-hanging fruit with a scrap run. That should get rid of some big chunky pieces and give us a little more space to work with. And to make it a little more interesting, who wants to see how much carbide tip drill bits are worth? I know I do. So I called around and found the scrapyard that's willing to buy them. And thankfully, it's the same one that I bring my cast aluminum to. I don't totally know how their price is on rims, but we might as well make this a good run. Now this one is a new experience because for some reason, it's full of water. I'm just gonna consider it extra cooling and hopefully it doesn't cause a problem. Huh. Best guess, broke the bead and left it in the rain. Whew. Not bad. I did switch the third battery, but we barely used it, and this was one brand new cutting wheel, about half dead. Now we just gotta load it up. I'd say that looks like a decent first load. Alrighty, let's get this bread. And by bread, I mean an iced cap. Now this is my first time scrapping carbide tip drill bits, and I know there are people out there in the mining industry that end up with a bunch of these things, and you can remove the little carbide buttons from them. I'm not really sure how that works, and I was hanging on to them because somebody told me they'd be happy to show me how to remove them, which I bet would be the best way to get the most money, is to have the actual good parts separated and then sell them on eBay or something like that. But I don't have their number anymore, and when I called ahead to the scrapyard, they quoted me a price that seemed pretty good considering how freakishly heavy these things are. Oh, and it's not really the key point of this video, but I am curious to see just what we get for those cast iron brake drums and rotors, because steel has absolutely been in the pooper lately, but usually having a whole pile of those is good for 40 bucks or something, so we'll see. We will see. Fingers crossed, I guess. Do we want to make an estimate? Estimate. I'm gonna say we have $30 in cast iron, $30 in aluminum, $50 in rims, and it's kind of impossible to make a guess for the carbide, but having never done it before, I'm gonna say You know what? We'll just call it $100. That is a completely wild guess with very little experience. So let's find out together. Terrible news, everyone. It seems, well, the price on the rim seems all right. All the prices seem totally acceptable to me right now, except they are not taking carbide tip drill bits. No. They said they're just gonna give me, they said they take them, but they just take them as prepared steel, which is going in at like $100 a ton or something like that. So that is nowhere near what they're actually worth. I think the carbide buttons themselves are like $10 a pound or something like that, which does make it questionable whether it's worth spending the time picking them off, but still something, oh man. So that was a disappointment, especially because when I called ahead, they said they'd do like $2 or $3 a pound kind of thing. They obviously thought I was talking about, you know, like the little ones for like a CNC or something. Time to make some phone calls. Well, I called around, I drove around, and so far, everybody tells me they'll give me like $2 to $3 a pound for them, and then when they see them, they're like, oh, no, that's prepared steel. So I'm pretty tired of getting the same story everywhere. There's two people that I talked to. One person, I actually texted him a photo that's over at Big House Converters, and he said he'd get back to me. And then the other one is Empire Metals way up north, who said the exact same thing, but I tried really hard to explain exactly what I'm talking about, and I did talk to the main guy there, so I guess we're gonna drive up north and see what they'll give me, and hopefully between that and the text I'm waiting to get back, something will turn up. Because I know you guys are not gonna be happy with me if I sell them for prepared steel price, which is like $100 a ton, which is nothing. But I watched AVE's video on how to like remove the carbide bits, and it looks like a lot of work and more than I feel like doing. Let's go. Well, here we are, Empire Metals. I am getting pretty sick of driving around, and I don't want to bring these things home. So if these guys are willing to give me anything better than 5 cents a pound, I am game. Haha, battery died, but we're back home now. So that was probably a bit of a rude interruption. Anyway, where did we cut off? Let me just, so after all that, Empire Metals did end up buying them. That is, I did end up selling them to Empire Metals. I had to wait around while the guy called his boss, and his boss called his connect in Toronto, and got a price, and they ended up buying them. I ended up selling them for 10 cents a pound, which is twice as much as I would have gotten any of the other places for prepared steel or cast iron. So at 270 pounds, that gives us $27. Was it worth it? Not really. That was, what would it, $13.50 for all of those phone calls and all the driving around. So no, I would argue that that was kind of a waste of time and gas. And I thought I had figured everything out before by making phone calls, but most of the places that I talked to after they saw what I was talking about realized that there was not the product they thought it was, even though I did a pretty good job of explaining it. Anyway, I don't think it really matters because I'm probably never going to find those again, and you guys are probably not going to run into any unless you are directly involved with a mining company. And even then, they, as far as I understand, those things generally don't end up on the market because they get rebuilt or refurbished or something like that. But I was curious, so now I know 10 cents a pound, that's what I was able to get for them in 2020. And from the research that I did, it does not look like it would have been worth trying to pick all of the carbide out of them. That would have taken, it would have taken all afternoon plus a whole bunch of fuel in a torch, and I don't know if I would have been able to do it with a propane torch. But besides that, how did the other stuff fare? For cast iron brake rotors, that was 385 pounds at 6 cents a pound for $23.10. For the cast aluminum, that was 87 pounds at 30 cents a pound, so $26.10. That was worse than I thought it was going to be. The rims were 75 pounds at 45 cents a pound, so $33.75. Again, not as good as I thought it was going to be. 80/20 prep. Then a little bit of extra cast iron, 61 pounds of that for $336 total. And then aluminum breakage, I had 18 pounds of that junk I didn't feel like going through. At 9 cents a pound is $1.62. So the grand total for the day, that was $89.15 plus 27 flat, $116.15. So how do we feel about that? Meh. It was not, it was an okay amount to make in one day, but was it worth all of the extra time storing it? I don't know. It's just fun to do though. So I got a little bit of cash, and more importantly, I got a bunch more space in the garage. I feel like I say that a lot. So I haven't been sharing all of the, like the step-by-step getting this house set up because I don't think that's particularly interesting, and I don't think it's what most people click on these videos for. So looking forward to getting everything set up in a way that I can really produce and not stress over. Yeah. So to that end, I'm probably going to edit together some old footage that was otherwise lost to the annals of time, and you can just look forward to what that's going to be. I honestly don't even know what it's going to be yet, but it'll be fun. And I think this was fun. I hope you had fun, because I had fun. Thanks for hanging out and having fun with me today. Thanks for leaving it better than you found it. And keep doing the thing.